What you're seeing shouldn't be possible. These coins balance like they're defying gravity. No matter how hard you tap, they won't fall. It looks impossible because it is. There's actually a powerful magnet at the top and at the bottom. And the invisible magnetic force is what holds these coins together. And this is just the first of many experiments that look like magic but are actually done with science. Like melting metal with your bare hand and making a giant fire tornado. This next trick lets you bring your drawings to life. Just like that Doodle Bob episode in SpongeBob. Here is our magic marker. And with it, I'm gonna draw a portrait of myself onto this plate. Here's my big head because I have high IQ, and then a big, girthy pair of legs. And now, if we pour the water on top, we should see our drawing come to life. Oh, our stickman is starting to come alive! The drawing is able to float because the marker ink doesn't stick very well to a plate. So when you add water, it goes under the ink and lifts it up to the surface. And the water tension keeps the drawing floating and moving around. Just make sure there are no gaps or your drawing will be destroyed. If you think this is cool, wait until you see the next experiment. This liquid might look harmless, but watch what happens when I drop in this cup. Our cup completely melted, but what's gonna do to my finger? Ah! Just kidding. This is actually completely safe to touch because it's acetone, or some may call it nail polish remover. So acetone is really good at breaking down plastics. And styrofoam is just plastic filled with air. So the moment acetone touches the plastic, starts breaking everything apart. Oh, that looks so cool. As dangerous as this science experiment looks, the ones that are coming up next are even crazier. Let's make a bet. I bet that you can't fit this egg into the bottle without breaking it. No matter how hard you try to shove it in, it's not gonna fit. And if I win the bet, you have to subscribe. All we need is a little bit of fire. Yeah, burn, baby, burn. And once it's on fire, just put it in and put your egg on top. Woo! It just got sucked right in. The fire heats the air inside the bottle, but when the flame dies out, it cools the air, creating an instant pressure drop, which sucks the egg into the bottle. And to get the egg out, we can just do the reverse. You blow into it. Oh, there's our egg. Now moving on to the next experiment. What happens if you poke a bag of water with a pencil? It leaks. But what if I shove it all the way through? No leaks. Let's try another one. And as long as you're careful, you can just keep shoving pencils in. How is this possible? It's because a quick poke leaves an open hole for the water to escape. But when you push the pencil all the way through, the plastic stretches tight around the pencils and seals the hole shut. And here's the fun part. You can just keep adding more pencils. All right, a bit of a skill issue here. Okay, on to the next experiment. Did you know that oranges can be toxic to balloons? But if they can do that, why is it still safe to eat? It's all because of a chemical in orange peels called limonene. And just like acetone, limonene melts through plastics and latex. That's why the balloon pops. But you don't have to worry since you're not made of rubber. You just made it out of one. And here's the wild part. Limonene is a flammable oil. So that means if you light a flame, you can use your orange peel as a flamethrower. Oh, woo! That was a big one. Now you can impress your friends. Aren't you glad you learned this trick? Let's move on to the next one. This is a normal ruler. When I put it on the table and hit it, nothing interesting happens. But when I place the ruler down with a piece of paper on top, watch what happens. Oh, the ruler is now trapped. And no matter how hard I slap, the paper won't lift. I can even drop an apple on it. Or a basketball. It works all because of physics. When you hit the ruler fast, the air underneath the paper doesn't have enough time to escape, so the pressure holds the paper down tight. But if you tap the ruler slowly, air has enough time to slip underneath and lift up the paper. But if you try the same experiment with a wooden ruler and a bigger piece of paper, watch what happens. And that is the strength of science. Now let's break into the next experiment. This next experiment turns a leaf into a tiny speedboat. All we need is just a leaf. And now just take a regular pen and dip some ink at the end of the leaf. And now place it in the water and watch it ride away. It's go time! Oh, yo! That's crazy! That was so fast! Yo, this is literally a speedboat. It moves and it leaves a trail of color right behind. It works because ink has tiny oils that spread fast on water. This lowers the water tension behind the leaf, but the tension is still strong at the front, so it pulls the leaf forward like a tiny invisible motor. And the more ink you put, the faster it goes. Now let's drift into the next experiment. This is my bed of nails that I use for massage sometimes. And this is an invincible balloon. No matter how hard I press on the nails, the balloon's not popping. But the trick is actually in the nails. Because if I just have a single nail, the balloon pops instantly. So what's happening here? It's all about pressure distribution. Placing the balloon on one nail puts all the pressure on a single spot, stressing the rubber until it pops. But placing the balloon on this nail bed distributes the pressure across multiple points of contact. So no single nail has enough pressure to poke through the balloon. And this is the exact trick that performers use to walk across nails without getting hurt. And now let's walk into the next experiment. This metal turns into liquid when you touch it. It's called gallium, and it's completely safe to touch. But it melts through any metal it touches. I left it on this soda can for a couple hours. Now, the gallium has seeped into the top of the can. Look at this, it's already cracking. Let's see what happens if we touch it. Oh my gosh, it's flaky like a croissant. What the heck? That's crazy. The metal is so brittle now. And it's because the gallium slips in between the metal atoms and pushes them apart, which weakens the bonds. And once the metal loses its structure, it becomes brittle and easy to break. Let's take a look at the spoon here. It may look like the spoon is normal, but look at this. That's where we put the gallium. Now let's try to bend the spoon where we left the gallium. Oh, that's so easy. That is so easy to bend. I can snap the spoon in half. Is it because of the gallium or is it because I'm jacked? You tell me in the comments below. It's time to level up the previous balloon trick. Balloons, as we all know, are very fragile. Please, don't make any fat jokes. But we can use the principle of weight distribution to make these fragile balloons carry me. So let's try 3 balloons. We need more. Now let's try 5. Remember, I'm about 150 pounds, and these are just regular balloons. It's almost there. Now we have 6. This time I'm gonna apply the same principle of weight distribution to me, because instead of sitting in one spot, I'm gonna lay down. I think we need 2 more, and right now it's a little unbalanced, so we're gonna have 2 rows of 4 balloons. Now we have 8 balloons. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm fully elevated. The balloons are supporting my weight. These are pretty bouncy, so let's try using it as a trampoline. Oh. We just demonstrated the principle of weight distribution in real time, because when I laid on it, the balloons didn't pop. But as soon as all my weight was concentrated in one spot, the balloons started popping. Now let's move on to the next experiment. For this next science trick, we're gonna make waterproof fire. So all we gotta do is just light our candle. Just gonna place it on top of the water so that it floats. Now, watch the magic happen. All you need is just a bigger cup and put it on top. We can start pushing the candle down. Our candle is fully submerged in the water while still being lit. Look at this. As the water submerges, the fire doesn't die out. This is happening because the air pressure is keeping the water out of the cup, making the water go around instead of inside. This is almost an optical illusion because it looks like the candle is fully submerged in water, but that's only because the glass, the water, and the cup are all clear. In the middle here, there's actually no water. It's all air. I can show you by tilting the cup and releasing some water in. You can see now part of the cup is submerged with water. But when we slowly lift up, you can see our waterproof fire is still alive. By the way, guys, if you want to try some of these experiments at home, I put together a free guide that includes some fun and safe experiments you can do at home. In the guide, I list out step-by-step instructions and all the materials you'll need. You can download all this on my free website that I built with our sponsor, Odoo. Odoo is an all-in-one app with tools like course creation, e-commerce, and website building. Plus, your first app is completely free for life. And you can even get a free domain name for the first year. So head to hafugo.odoo.com to grab your free science experiments guide and click the link in the description below if you want to start your own website for free. Now onto the next experiment. For the next trick, we're gonna be making a butane rocket. And to make a butane rocket, all you need is two things: a water jug and butane. Later in the video, we'll be making a much more powerful rocket. But butane rockets are very easy to make. The first step is to empty my jug. Step 2, fill it with butane. Just grab some pliers and push down on the nozzle. Now fill up the jug. Don't breathe this in. This works because when you release butane, it turns into gas. As the empty space is filled with butane gas, pressure builds up. And since gas and water don't mix, when you flip the jug upside down, the gas instantly pushes all the water out, creating a rocket-like effect. All right, here we go. 3, 2, it's go time. Woo! That was so cool. Now let's push on to the next experiment. For our next science trick, we're gonna make a giant solar death ray. Using the same concept as a magnifying glass. We all know the trick. If you put a magnifying glass in the direct sunlight and focus it just right, you can make something that burns paper. But it's not gonna make a flame. It's too slow and it's too weak. So if we wanna make a giant solar death ray, technically we just need a bigger magnifying glass. And I got one right here. This is a very dangerous weapon right here because it can literally burn through anything, including metal. And if you want to make one of these for yourself, you can actually take apart the screens of old TVs and you'll be left with a giant convex lens, which takes a wide area of sunlight and focuses it down into a singular point. And the bigger your lens is, the more sunlight it can focus, and the hotter your death ray will burn. Be very careful where you point this, because as soon as it touches anything, it will burn. I'm gonna lift it off the ground, and as soon as it focuses into a dot, we should see fire. Oh my gosh, what the heck? That was instant. Here we go, let's go again. Oh, yo, this is so dangerous, what the heck? It instantly lights on fire. That is crazy. All right, time to put this out. Next, let's try some sparklers. If I don't focus in the right spot, I'm gonna burn everything around it. Oh my gosh, the whole thing is set on fire. I think even the moss is on fire. That's amazing. Yay, science. Comment down below if it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Next, let's burn something that a magnifying glass could never do. A stick. Let's see if it can break the stick. That is smoking. Oh, it broke the stick in half. Now let's try burning something you would never be able to burn with magnifying glass. Metal. Whoa, something's smoking there. I think if I focus just right. Yo, the nail is red hot right now. It's melting through the nail. Holy crap. Yo, the nail is hot. I'm not trolling here. Look at this. Look how hot the nail is. It literally melted through the surface of the nail. With this solar death ray, we can burn through anything. Let's move on to an even crazier experiment. For our next experiment, we are gonna make a homemade rocket. And in order to make a rocket, we need rocket fuel. That is exactly why we are out here, because we are testing different types of rocket fuel to find the best one for our homemade rocket. Each one of these has a different concentration of potassium nitrate, sugar, and some even have rust powder. Our goal right now is to find out which type of fuel will burn the fastest, because that's what we need for a rocket to take off. This is test subject number 1. We can see some slight smoking. Okay, that's not bad. This one is mostly made of sugars and potassium nitrate. As you can see, the burn is a little bit slow. It's not the fastest burn right here. If our rocket was made of this fuel, I don't think it's strong enough to take off. Here we have mixture number 2. For this one, there's no rust powder, just a little bit more sugar. Oh, that's not bad. Whoa. That one's burning super fast as well. It's burning a lot faster than the first one. I would say that one is winning right now. But now we're going to try number 3, which introduces rust powder. Rust powder should help introduce more oxygen into the burn and potentially make the fuel burn faster. We'll see how it burns. Okay, here we go. Whoa, that is so fast. That was honestly like an instant release. That's gonna be our fuel right there. We just need to put this in a rocket shell and it should be able to take off. We're now ready for our rocket launch. Here is our little baby right here. The rocket was pretty simple to make, and we've just added a little bit more potassium nitrate for that extra punch. This is our rocket launch station. We slide it in and we're ready to launch. I'm gonna put eye protection on just in case. More of a smoke bomb rather than a rocket. I think the issue here is that we didn't encapsulate the ends of the rocket with clay, so it was literally just exposed rocket fuel. So the modification we'll make now is we'll cap off the ends of the rocket with clay and only drill a small hole at the bottom where it can release the pressure. I've sealed off the top and bottom of the rocket with clay, added a homemade fuse, and lastly, I've replaced the stem with plastic so it's a lot lighter. And in it goes. Oh, here it goes. I think we have a problem with our fuse here. So for times like these when nothing works, I always have a backup. This is what I call the black sheep, because what I put in here is a little questionable. We will make this work. We will figure it out. In it goes. It's go time. Oh my God. This is crazy. That's so wild, bro. That's why we call it the black sheep, because you don't know what's gonna happen. It's time for the final trick. We've gone from simple tricks to creating giant solar death rays to launching rockets, and now we're gonna go from a simple campfire to creating a giant fire tornado. All we need to make that happen is only my fans. Subscribe. First, we gotta surround the fire in a circle with these fans. Let's give that a try. All right, that should be good. After we plug them in, they should spin in a circular fashion and create a vortex to bring the flame up. Okay, let's turn these on. Add a couple pieces of wood to keep the fire going. You can kind of see the wind blowing the fire. It's getting a little higher. I think the problem is right now these fans are blowing towards each other and it's just scattering the fire. Look, the fire is blowing left and right, left and right. So we need more fans. Good thing I come prepared. We'll put the fans in a circle. All the fans are now set up. We have a perfect circle with the fire in the middle. Let's test it again. We added more fans so the wind can blow into a spiral pattern, creating a vortex instead of just blowing into each other and scattering the fire. All right, here we go. Now let's give it another try. The fans are turning on. Come on. Are we getting a vortex here? We can see the smoke kind of going up. This is a good sign. We just need to adjust the fans a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn each fan about 15 degrees. So instead of blowing into each other, they're blowing into a slight circle, creating the vortex that we need. Oh! Oh! Look, it's working, it's working. It's looking pretty good. I think we just need some adjustment over here. Some of these fans are a little bit too strong. We are making good progress. I just need to move the fire pit a little bit to the left. We're now ready for our biggest fire yet. I think this will create a tornado higher than 6 feet. This goes without saying, do not try this at home. All right, here we go. Oh, it's burning. Oh yes. We ready for the fans? Here we go. Fire, tornado. Oh, yo, that's getting so tall. All right, let's just do some micro adjustments here. Oh my gosh, this is getting so tall. Yo, that's huge. That's the biggest fire tornado I've ever seen. This is the power of science, guys. Wow. I hope you enjoyed this one. Click here to watch more science experiments and click here to watch a video that YouTube thinks you'll love. Woo.